Welcome to my expat stories. This one's going to make you think because Roger's not your typical victim. He's a 68-year-old retired lorry driver from Hull whose wife died suddenly 6 years ago. His kids visit maybe twice a year. His house is too quiet. Nobody needs him anymore. Then he met Fern at a temple in Nong Khai. She introduced him to her village, her family, Sunday lunches, helping with the rice farm, teaching English to the kids. They called him Uncle Roger. For the first time since Margaret died, someone said his name like it mattered. Over 19 months, he sent £38,600. But here's the question. Is it a scam if you know exactly what it is and choose it anyway? If you have ever been so lonely you would pay just to feel useful, hit that like and subscribe button. This one's different. Here's Roger. I'm sat in my living room in Hull on a Sunday afternoon. Telly's on, but I'm not watching it. Just background noise. The house is quiet. Too quiet. It's been like this since Margaret died. That's 6 years now. 6 years of Sundays with nought to do and nobody to talk to. My name's Roger. I'm 68 years old. I drove lorries for 47 years. Long haul mostly. Europe, France, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium. I liked the road, liked the solitude. But I always came home. Margaret was always here, dinner on the table, garden looking proper, house smelling of whatever she'd been baking. Then one Tuesday in March 2018, I came home from a run to Rotterdam and found her on the kitchen floor. Stroke. Paramedics said she'd gone quick. Didn't suffer. That's what they tell you. Doesn't make it easier. We'd been married 41 years, she was 66. We had plans, retirement plans, travel, garden projects, growing old together. Then she was gone. Just like that. One day she's asking me what I want for tea. Next day she's not here. Our kids came up for the funeral. Sarah from London. Michael from Manchester. They stayed a week. Sorted the house. Made sure I was eating. Then they went back to their lives. And I don't blame them. They've got jobs, families, mortgages. They can't be sitting in Hull looking after their old dad. Sarah calls every Sunday. Like clockwork. 6 o'clock. How are you, Dad? You eating proper? You getting out? I tell her, I'm grand, I'm not grand, but what's she going to do about it from London? Michael comes up maybe 3 times a year, stays a night. We go to the pub, talk about his work, his kids. Then he's gone again. Back to Manchester. Back to his life. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. The house is quiet. The telly's always on for the noise. I cook meals for one. I sit in the same chair Margaret used to sit in because at least it still smells a bit like her. That's my life now. That's what retirement looks like when you're alone. My mate Dave, he's been to Thailand. Pattaya. He loved it. Kept telling me I should go, get some sun. See something different. Stop sitting in this house waiting to die. I'm not going to Thailand to chase bar girls, Dave. I'm 68. No one said anything about bar girls. Just go see the place. It's cheap. It's warm. It's different from Hull. What have you got to lose? So in January 2022, I booked 2 weeks. Not Pattaya. I didn't want that scene. I wanted somewhere quiet. Looked at a map. Found Nong Khai. Up north. Near Laos. Middle of nowhere, really. Looked peaceful. That's what I needed. Peace. I landed in Bangkok. Got a domestic flight to Udon Thani. Then a bus to Nong Khai. 2 hours through rice fields and small towns. It was beautiful. Proper beautiful. Green. Flat. Mountains in the distance across the Mekong River. Nothing like Hull. I checked into a guest house near the river. Small place. Family run. The owner was an old Thai bloke who spoke a bit of English. He showed me my room. Basic. Clean. Fan. Bed. Window looking out at the street. That's all I needed. First few days I just walked. Along the river. Through the town. Watched the boats. Ate street food. Didn't talk to anyone much. Just existed. It felt good. Being somewhere nobody knew me. Nobody asking if I was all right. Nobody looking at me with pity because I'm the widower. On my 4th day, I found a temple. Wat Pho Chai. Big golden Buddha inside. Beautiful place. Peaceful. I'm not religious. Never have been. But Margaret was. Church every Sunday. She'd have loved this temple. So I went in, took my shoes off, sat down, just sat there looking at the Buddha thinking about her. There was a Thai woman sitting near me, maybe mid-40s. She was praying, hands together, eyes closed, whispering in Thai. She looked sincere, not performing, just genuinely praying. When she finished, she opened her eyes, saw me, smiled. Not a big smile, just a polite acknowledgement. I nodded back. She stood up, walked over. You tourist? Aye. From England. You like Nong Khai? I do. It's peaceful, quiet. That's what I needed. She smiled again. My name's Fern. I come here every week. Pray for my family. Roger. Nice to meet you. We walked out of the temple together. She asked where I was staying. I told her. She said it was a good guest house. Her cousin owned it. Small world. We stood outside the temple. She asked if I wanted tea. There was a small shop across the road. I said, aye, why not? We sat at a plastic table, drank sweet Thai tea. She told me about her life. She was from a village about 40 minutes from Nong Khai, Ban Non Sawan. She came to town once a week for supplies, to pray at the temple, to visit her cousin. She had a family, mother, father, brother, his wife, their 2 kids. They all lived together in the village, traditional Thai family, everyone under one roof, helping each other. She worked in the rice fields. Her brother did odd jobs. Construction mostly. Her sister-in-law sold vegetables at the market. It sounded nice. Sounded like what families used to be. Before everyone moved away for work, I told her about Margaret, about the stroke, about the house in Hull, about Sarah and Michael, about the quiet Sundays. She listened, really listened, didn't interrupt, didn't offer platitudes, just listened. When I finished, she put her hand on mine, just for a second. I'm sorry about your wife. You must miss her very much. Aye, every day. You have good heart, I can see. Your wife was lucky woman. I don't know about that, but thank you. She asked if I wanted to see her village, meet her family, see real Thailand, not tourist Thailand. I thought about it. I had naught else to do. 2 weeks in Nong Khai with no plans. Why not? The next day she picked me up on a motorbike. I got on the back. We rode out of town, through rice fields, proper countryside, small villages, buffalo in the fields, kids playing in the dirt. It was a different world. Her village was small. Maybe 30 houses, wooden houses on stilts, dirt roads, chickens everywhere, dogs sleeping in the shade. It looked like something from 50 years ago, but in a good way. Simple, honest. She took me to her house. Her mother was sitting on the porch. Old woman, grey hair, kind face. Fern spoke to her in Thai. The mother looked at me, smiled, said something I didn't understand. Fern translated. My mother says welcome. Tell her thank you. We sat on the porch. Fern's father came out. Older bloke, thin, weathered. He shook my hand, proper firm handshake. Looked me in the eye. Didn't speak English, but he didn't need to. You can tell a lot from a handshake. Fern's brother came back from work. Anuat, younger than Fern, maybe late 30s, covered in dust from construction work. He cleaned up, came back, shook my hand, said hello in English. That was about all he knew. His wife June was cooking. The smell was incredible. Spices, garlic, chili. She brought out plates of food. Rice, curry, vegetables, fish. Everything. Laid it all out on a mat on the floor. We sat around it, ate together. They didn't speak English, but we managed. Pointing, smiling, laughing. The kids came home from school. Chai, the nephew, 16 years old. Shy kid, polite, and Liar, the niece. 12, bright kid, curious. She kept staring at me. First Farang she'd probably seen up close. Fern translated. The kids wanted to practice English. Could I help? I said aye, of course. So we sat there on the porch and I taught them English words. Simple stuff. How are you? My name is. Thank you. They were giggling, making mistakes, trying again. It was lovely. I stayed for 3 hours. When it was time to go, Fern's mother hugged me. Proper hug. Like Margaret used to hug me. I nearly cried. First time anyone had hugged me like that since she died. Fern drove me back to town. She said her family liked me, said I was welcome any time. I said I'd like that. I meant it. Over the next 10 days, I went back to the village. 5 times. Each time felt easier, more natural. They started calling me Uncle Roger. Fern translated. In Thai culture, older people get called uncle or auntie. It's respect, but also affection. I helped where I could. Nothing major. Just being useful. Helped Anuat fix a fence. helped June carry vegetables to the market, taught the kids more English, sat with the father and drank whiskey even though we couldn't talk. We didn't need to talk. Just sitting together was enough. On my last day, we had a big meal. The whole family. They gave me gifts. A scarf, a wooden carving. Nothing expensive, but it meant something. Fern's mother cried when I said goodbye. Said something in Thai. Fern translated. She says you are a good man. She says you are part of family. Now. I flew back to Hull. Back to the quiet house. Back to the empty Sundays. But something felt different. I had photos on my phone. The family. The village. The kids. I looked at them every day. Sarah called. How was Thailand, Dad? It was good. Really good. She sounded surprised. Glad you enjoyed it. You should go again. And I did. 3 months later. May 2022. Booked another 2 weeks. Went straight to Nong Khai. Messaged Fern. She picked me up from the guest house. Took me to the village. The family was buzzing. Uncle Roger's back. The kids had been practicing English. They showed me. They got better. Proper better. I was so proud. That trip I stayed in the village. Fern had a small guest room. Just a bed and a fan. But it was perfect. I woke up to roosters. Had breakfast with the family. Spent the days helping. Teaching. Just being part of something. One night we're sat on the porch. Fern and me. The kids were asleep. The parents had gone to bed. It was just us. She looked tired. Stressed. I asked what was wrong. She didn't want to say. I pushed gently. She sighed. My mother, she's sick. Diabetes, she needs medicine, but is expensive. We try to save, but is hard. How much? Maybe £120. I said I'd help. She said no. Uncle Roger, I cannot ask. I said you're not asking. I'm offering. That's what family does. We help each other. She cried. Actually cried. Said thank you. Said I was too kind. Said she didn't know what to say. I transferred the money the next day. She bought the medicine. Her mother got better. The family was so grateful. They made me a special dinner. Thanked me over and over. I felt good. Properly good. Like I'd done something that mattered. That was the first time I sent money. £120. For medicine. For family. It felt right. I should have known better. But I didn't want to know better. Because for the first time in 4 years, I felt needed. And that was worth more than 120 quid. I went back to Hull feeling lighter. Like I'd done something good. Something meaningful. Not just sending money, but being part of something. Being needed. Sarah called that Sunday. Dad, you sound different. Happier. Do I? Yeah, what's going on? You meet someone. Not like that. Just made some friends. In Thailand. A family. They've been kind to me. That's lovely, Dad. I'm glad you're getting out. Meeting people. Aye, me too. I didn't tell her about the money. Didn't seem important. 120 quid. That's newt. I'd spent more on petrol driving to Manchester to see Michael. This felt better. This helped someone who actually needed it. 2 weeks later, Fern messaged me online. Uncle Roger, how are you? We miss you. Kids ask about you every day. I'm grand. Miss you lot too. How's your mum? She good now. Medicine working. Thank you so much. You saved her life. I didn't save her life. Just helped with medicine. But it felt good reading that. Over the next few weeks, we messaged regularly. She'd send photos, the kids at school, the rice fields, the family having dinner. I'd send photos back, my garden, the house. Nothing exciting, but she seemed interested. Then in July, she messaged, Uncle Roger, I'm sorry to bother you, but I need ask something. What's wrong? My nephew Chai, he wants to go university. He very smart, very hard-working, but university expensive. We cannot afford. He maybe have to stop school, work on farm. That seemed wrong. Kid's bright. He should go to university. How much does it cost? First year is 30,000 baht, about £600. Is too much. We try to save, but we cannot. 600 quid. That's not much. Not for a kid's education. Not for his future. I thought about it. Thought about Margaret. She'd have said help him. Education's important. Don't let a bright kid waste his potential because of money. I'll send it. No, Uncle Roger, is too much. I cannot ask. You're not asking. I'm offering. Chai's a good kid. He deserves a chance. She sent crying emojis, said thank you 100 times, said I was changing their lives, said the family would never forget this. I sent £600. She sent photos. Chai in his university uniform. Big smile. Holding his books. The family was so proud. His grandmother was crying. His father was beaming. They took a photo of all of them holding a sign that said, "Thank you, Uncle Roger." I printed that photo, put it on my fridge, looked at it every morning. Felt proper good. August, another message. "Uncle Roger, I'm so sorry, I hate to ask. But my father, he fall from ladder, hurt his back. Need treatment, physiotherapy, medicine. £300. We try to manage, but it's hard. 300 quid. For her father, the man who shook my hand, who drank whiskey with me, who couldn't speak English but made me feel welcome. I'll send it. September. The motorbike broke down. Anuat needed it for work. Repairs cost £200. I sent it. October. Laya needed new school uniform and books. 5,000 baht. £100. I sent it. November. The roof was leaking. Rainy season. Water coming into the house. Repair cost £400. I sent it. By December, I'd sent about £2,000 total. Over 6 months. It didn't feel like much. Few hundred here, few hundred there, each time for something real, something needed. Medicine, education, repairs, transport. These weren't luxuries. These were necessities. Christmas came. Sarah and Michael both came to Hull. First time in 3 years we'd all been together for Christmas. We had dinner, turkey, all the trimmings. Margaret's recipes. I cooked them myself. Sarah asked how I'd been. I told her about Thailand, about the family, about helping them. She seemed pleased. "That's lovely, Dad. You've always been generous." Michael asked how much I'd been sending. I said not much. Few hundred quid here and there. He looked concerned. "Dad, you need to be careful. People can take advantage. They're not taking advantage. They're struggling. I'm helping." That's what people do. He didn't push it. But I could see the look, the concern. Like I was some daft old bloke being scammed. I wasn't being scammed. I was choosing to help. There's a difference. January 2023, I booked another trip. 3rd time now. 2 weeks, straight to Nong Khai. Fern picked me up, took me to the village. The family was so happy to see me. The kids ran up, hugged me. Uncle Roger, Uncle Roger. The grandmother hugged me, cried, said something in Thai. Fern translated. She says you are angel. You save our family. I'm no angel, just a bloke with a bit of money and no one else to spend it on. That trip felt different, felt like coming home. The house in Hull felt like where I used to live. This village felt like where I belonged. I had a routine. Wake up with the roosters. Have breakfast with the family. Help with whatever needed doing. Teach the kids English. Sit with the father. Drink whiskey. Go to bed. Simple. Peaceful. Needed. One night Fern and I were talking on the porch. She said something that stuck with me. "Uncle Roger, you are part of family now. Real family. Not just guest, you help us so much. We never forget." That meant more than she knew, more than I could explain. I hadn't felt part of a family since Margaret died. Sarah and Michael had their own families. I was just Dad, the old man they called on Sundays. But here I was Uncle Roger. I mattered. I belonged. The trip ended. I flew back to Hull, back to the quiet house. But it felt different now. I had somewhere to go back to, somewhere I was needed. That made the quiet bearable. February. Fern messaged. "Uncle Roger, I'm so sorry. Bad news. Buffalo die. We need buffalo for farm. But new buffalo costs £1,000. We cannot afford. Maybe have to sell land." Sell the land? That's their livelihood. Their home? I can't let that happen. I sent £1,000. She sent photos. The new buffalo. Big, healthy animal. The family standing next to it. Smiling, grateful. March. The water pump broke. £160. I sent it. April. June needed medical treatment. Woman's health issue. 12,000 baht. £240. I sent it. May. Chai needed books and materials for 2nd year university. 10,000 baht. £200. I sent it. June. Laya needed glasses. Her eyesight was bad. She was struggling in school. £140. I sent it. July. Anuat's motorbike broke down again. Bigger repair this time. £360. I sent it. By August 2023, I'd been helping for about 15 months. I sat down one night. Went through my bank statements, added it up. £14,000. In 15 months. That's a lot. More than I'd realised. I stared at the number. £14,000. That's proper money. That's a year's worth of pension payments. That's a new car. That's 3 holidays to Spain. That's a lot, but also, what would I have spent it on? Sitting in Hull? Watching telly? Going to the pub by myself? At least this money was doing something. Helping people. Making a difference. Making me feel useful. Michael called. We were talking about Nout. Then he said, "Dad, Sarah's worried. She says you've been sending money to Thailand. A lot of money. I don't know what Sarah's on about, just helping some friends." "How much, Dad?" "That's my business, Michael." "Dad, please. We're just worried. People get taken advantage of. Especially older people, especially in Thailand. I'm not being taken advantage of. I'm choosing to help. There's a difference." "Is it a woman? Are you in a relationship?" "No, it's a family, I've told you. They've been kind to me. I'm helping them. That's all." He went quiet. Then said, "Just be careful, Dad. Please. I'm always careful." But I wasn't careful. I knew that. I knew exactly what this was. I wasn't daft. I'd driven lorries across Europe for 47 years. I'd dealt with dodgy customs officers, bent mechanics, thieves at rest stops. I could spot a con a mile away. This wasn't a con. Not exactly. The needs were real. The family was real. The emergencies were real. But also, I knew Fern was asking me because I'd said yes before. I knew each request was getting bigger. I knew this would keep going as long as I kept sending money. But here's the thing. I didn't care. I didn't care because every time I sent money, I got a message. "Thank you, Uncle Roger. The kids miss you. When are you coming back? We love you." That was worth £14,000. That was worth every penny. Because in Hull, no one said they missed me. No one asked when I was coming back. No one said they loved me. Sarah called on Sundays out of duty. Michael visited out of guilt. But Fern and her family, they wanted me there. Needed me there. Even if part of that need was financial. At least it was need. Margaret would have seen through it. She always did. She'd have sat me down. "Roger, love, you're being used. You know that, right?" And I'd have said, I know. And she'd have said, "Then why are you doing it?" And I'd have said, "Because it's better than being alone." She'd have understood. She always understood. September 2023. I booked another trip. 4th time now. But this time for a month. I had Nout keeping me in Hull. Might as well stay longer. Enjoy the warmth, the family, the feeling of mattering. Fern was thrilled. 1 month. Kids will be so happy. We cooked special dinner every night. I stayed in the guest room again, settled into the routine. It felt like home, more than Hull did. The house in Hull was where Margaret died, where I was alone. This village was where I was alive, where I was needed. But during that month I started noticing things. Little things. Things I'd ignored before because I didn't want to see them. I noticed that every week there was a new emergency. Not suspicious. Just constant. The fridge broke. The pump needed replacing. Someone got sick. The motorbike needed parts. Always something. Always about £500 to £1,000. Always urgent. Always real. But also always timed. Always when I was there, when I couldn't say no face to face. I noticed that other Farangs visited the village. Older blokes like me. European, American, Australian. They'd stay a few days. The families would host them. I'd see them at the market, at the temple. They all had the same look. Grateful, needed, useful. And they all had Thai families who called them uncle. I noticed that Fern's phone was always busy, messages coming in. She'd step away to answer them. I didn't ask who, didn't want to know. But I had an idea. Other uncles, other helpers, other lonely old blokes sending money. One afternoon, I was sitting with Anuat. We were fixing a fence. I asked him in broken Thai how many Farangs helped the village. He didn't understand at first, then he got it. He held up both hands, all 10 fingers, then 3 more, 13. 13 Farangs helping families in this village. I was one of 13. That night I couldn't sleep. I lay in the guest room thinking, 13 blokes like me, sending money, feeling needed, feeling useful. All of us thinking we were special. All of us thinking we were family. But really, we were funders. We were income. We were the Farang uncles who paid for things. I thought about leaving, thought about going back to Hull, cutting it off, saying no more. But then I thought about what I'd be going back to. The empty house, the overgrown garden, the telly on for noise, the Sundays with nout to do. No one saying my name, no one needing me. And I thought, is it really so bad? Paying to feel needed? At least I'm getting something. At least here, when I wake up, someone's glad I'm alive. In Hull, I could die in my chair and no one would know for weeks. Here, if I didn't show up for breakfast, Lyra would knock on my door. Uncle Roger, are you okay? That's worth something. That's worth £14,000. Maybe more. I stayed the full month. When I left, the family cried. Real tears. Fern's mother hugged me, wouldn't let go. The kids gave me drawings. Fern gave me a scarf her mother made. They said they loved me, said I was family, said come back soon. I flew back to Hull, sat in my living room, looked at the drawings on my fridge, the scarf on the back of Margaret's chair, and I thought, I'll go back. Because what else have I got? December 2023. I went back for Christmas. Couldn't face Hull. Couldn't face cooking Margaret's recipes alone. Couldn't face Sarah and Michael asking if I was all right when we all knew I wasn't. I spent Christmas in the village. They made a special meal. Not turkey, Thai food. But they put up decorations, paper stars, tinsel. They'd never celebrated Christmas before. They did it for me. The kids gave me cards they'd made, drawings of me and the family. Uncle Roger with a Christmas hat. It was lovely. Properly lovely. New Year came. I stayed. Kept extending. One more week. By the time I flew home, I'd been there 7 weeks. Longest trip yet. February 2024. Fern messaged. Uncle Roger, I need ask big favour. Very important. What's wrong? Anuat want to start business, sell vegetables, need truck. Can make good money. Help family. But truck costs 200,000 baht. £4,000. Is too much. I know. But his last time I ask, I promise. £4,000. That's not a small ask, that's proper money. I thought about it. Looked at my bank account. I had enough. Pension still coming in. No one to spend it on. And if this helped the family be independent, helped them stop needing help, maybe it was worth it. I sent £4,000. She sent photos, Anuat standing next to a small pickup truck, loaded with vegetables. Big smile. The whole family standing around it. Proud, grateful. That was February. By March, the truck needed repairs. £500. By April, business wasn't going well. Needed more stock. £800. By May, the truck broke down completely. New engine. £3,000. I stopped counting after that. Stopped checking my bank statements. Just sent what they asked. Trusted it was needed. Trusted it mattered. Then in June, Sarah messaged me. Dad, can we talk? Properly talk? Aye, course. What's wrong? I'm worried about you. About the money you're sending to Thailand. Michael showed me the statements. Dad, you've sent nearly £40,000 in 2 years. That's your savings. That's your security. It's my money, Sarah. I'll spend it how I like. I know. But Dad, £40,000. Do you even know these people? Really know them? I know them better than most people I know. But do they care about you? Or do they care about your money? Silence. I didn't know how to answer that, because I knew the answer. I'd known for months. But saying it out loud made it real. Dad, I'm coming to Thailand. I want to meet them. See this family. See where your money's going. Sarah, you don't need to do that. I do, because you won't listen. So I'm coming. I've booked a flight. I'll be there next week. That was it. No asking. No discussing. She was coming, and I couldn't stop her. I messaged Fern, told her my daughter was visiting, wanted to meet the family. Fern said wonderful. They'd love to meet her, make special dinner, show her around, nothing to worry about. But I was worried, because Sarah would see what I'd been ignoring. She'd see the system, the other Farangs, the constant requests. She'd see it for what it was, and she'd make me see it too. Sarah arrived on a Tuesday. I picked her up from Udon Thani Airport. We drove to Nong Khai. She was quiet, looking out the window, taking it all in. The rice fields, the small villages, the poverty. I could see her processing. We got to my guest house. She dropped her bag. Right, let's go meet this family. We drove to the village. Fern was waiting. Big smile. You must be Sarah. Welcome. Your father talks about you all the time. Sarah smiled. Polite, but I could see her eyes. Assessing, judging, working it out. We went to the house, the family was there, all of them. Clean clothes, big smiles. They'd prepared a feast, table full of food, more than they'd normally have. They were performing, showing Sarah they were worth it, worth the money. Sarah was polite, shook everyone's hands, sat down, ate, asked questions. How long have you known my father? What does he help with? How often does he visit? Fern answered. Careful answers. We met at temple. He's been so kind. Helped with medicine, education, small things. He's part of family now. Sarah nodded, kept her face neutral. But I knew. I knew what she was thinking. After dinner, we left, drove back to town. Sarah didn't say anything for 10 minutes. Then she turned to me. Dad, they're using you. No, they're not. Yes, they are. I saw it. The other foreigners' photos on the wall. The new truck outside that's barely used. The way they all performed for me. They're using you. They're not using me. I'm helping them. There's a difference. Is there? Because from where I'm sitting, you're paying £40,000 to feel like you matter. And that's not family, that's a transaction. I pulled over, stopped the truck, looked at her. Sarah, love. I know what this is. Then why are you doing it? Because it's better than the alternative. What alternative? Being alone. Being in Hull. Being nobody's dad except on Sundays when you call out of duty. Being the old bloke whose wife died and whose kids moved away and who sits in an empty house waiting to die. She went quiet. Then her voice cracked. Dad, we care about you, Michael and I. We do. I know you do. But you've got your lives, your jobs, your families. And that's how it should be. But me, I've got nout. Margaret's gone. My mates are dying off. My house is too big and too quiet. At least here I wake up and someone's glad I'm alive. But they're only glad because you pay them. Aye, maybe. But at least they're glad. At least when I walk into that village, kids run up and hug me. At least when I sit down for dinner, there's people around the table. At least I feel like I matter. Even if I'm paying for it, at least I matter. Sarah started crying. Properly crying. Dad, you matter to us. You do. I'm sorry if we don't show it enough. I'm sorry if we don't visit more. But we love you. We do. I know. I know you do. But love's not enough when you're lonely. Love doesn't fill a house. Love doesn't make Sunday dinner less quiet. These people, they might be using me, but at least they're there. We sat in silence. Both of us crying. Two people who loved each other but couldn't fix each other's loneliness. The next day, Sarah flew home. Before she left, she hugged me. Dad, please just think about it. Think about what you're doing. Think about what it's costing you. I have thought about it. Every day, and I'm still choosing this. She left. I went back to the village. Life continued. More requests came. Roof repairs, medical bills, school fees. I sent the money. Felt needed. Felt useful. Felt like Uncle Roger. That was 6 months ago. I'm still here. Well, not here. I'm in Hull now. But I go back every few months. Stay a month. Send money when they ask. Play the part. Sarah calls every Sunday still. Asks how I'm doing. I say I'm grand. She doesn't ask about Thailand anymore. She's given up. Michael's given up too. They've accepted this is what I'm doing. They don't understand it. But they've accepted it. I've sent £38,600 now. Over 19 months. That's a lot of money. That's Margaret's life insurance. That's my savings. That's my security. But what do I need security for? I'm 68. I've got a pension. I've got a house paid off. I don't need holidays or cars or things. I need to feel like I matter. And I know they're using me. I've known for over a year. I know there's 12 other blokes like me funding families in that village. I know the emergencies are constant because that's the business model. I know when I stop sending money, they'll stop calling me Uncle Roger. But here's what Sarah doesn't understand. Here's what Michael doesn't understand. Here's what no one who hasn't been widowed and forgotten understands. Sometimes being used is better than being invisible. Sometimes paying for company is better than having no company at all. Sometimes being one of 13 funders is better than being one of nobody. In Hull, I sit in my house. The telly's on. The garden's overgrown. The fridge has food for one. I cook Margaret's recipes, but they taste wrong because she's not here. Sarah calls on Sunday and asks how I am, and I say grand even though I'm not. That's my life in Hull. That's what I have. In Thailand, I wake up and Liar knocks on my door. Uncle Roger, breakfast ready. I sit at a table with 8 people. I teach Chai about England. I help Anuat fix things. I sit with Thawi and drink whiskey, and we don't need words. The grandmother hugs me and calls me son. Fern says you are family. That's my life in Thailand. That's what I have. So I'm paying for it. £38,600. And I'll probably send more. And maybe that makes me a mug. Maybe that makes me the saddest story you've heard. Maybe I'm the lonely old widower who's so desperate he pays a Thai family to pretend to love him. But I'll tell you what, when I'm lying in my bed in that guest room, and I hear the roosters, and smell breakfast cooking, and hear the kids laughing, when I walk outside and someone says good morning, Uncle Roger, when I sit down and I'm part of something, even if I'm paying for it, even if it's not real, it feels better than Hull. It feels better than being alone. It feels better than waiting to die. Margaret would understand. She always understood. She'd sit me down, hold my hand, say, Roger, love, if it makes you happy, then it's worth it. Even if everyone else thinks you're daft. Even if it costs everything. If it makes you happy, then it's worth it. And it does make me happy. In a strange, sad, complicated way. It makes me happy, so I'll keep going back. I'll keep sending money. I'll keep being Uncle Roger. Because the alternative is being alone. And I've done alone. And alone's worse. A loan costs more than £38,600. A loan costs everything. And that was Roger's story. 68-year-old retired lorry driver from Hull, whose wife Margaret died from a stroke in 2018. His kids visit twice a year. His house is too quiet. He met Fern at a temple in Nong Khai. She introduced him to her village family. They called him Uncle Roger. Over 19 months he sent £38,600 for medical bills, school fees, buffalo, truck repairs, emergencies. All of it real. All of it needed. But also all of it timed. All of it constant. He discovered there are 13 Farangs funding families in that village. His daughter Sarah flew out to confront him. Told him he was being used. He said he knew. Said it was better than being alone. He still goes back every few months. Still sends money when they ask. Still gets called Uncle Roger. And he knows exactly what it is. He just doesn't care because being used is better than being forgotten. Is it a scam if both sides know what it is? Is it exploitation if you choose it? Is it worth £38,000 to feel like you matter? Roger thinks so, and maybe he's right. Or maybe he's the loneliest man in England buying love he knows isn't real because it's better than no love at all. Look after each other out there.